Well, good morning to you all. Happy Sunday after this Thanksgiving week. It's funny how when Thanksgiving comes, and then you come to church the next Sunday, and it seems like you're already in the Christmas thing already. Advent is sort of like Christmas in a way, it's leading to Christmas. And just a couple days ago, you were doing your traditional, whatever your tradition is. You're eating food somewhere, maybe, someone's house, or maybe this year something different happened, but you broke your tradition. But Thanksgiving was just on Thursday. Now here you are in church, and lo and behold, everything's purple. And everything's different. The Advent wreath is up, and the songs are all different. And it begins this funny time that Christians in our tradition have when we are waiting. This is sort of the season of waiting. And it's funny in a sense because especially in the sort of age of technology, nobody wants to wait for anything. If my computer is a little bit slow, I don't want to wait. Or if I'm waiting for my iPhone to download the latest app, it's like, I don't want to wait. Waiting is no fun. And for us modern people, it's gotten harder and harder to wait for anything. Think of the times nowadays that you have to endure waiting. Lots of you who might live in this area, whenever you're driving on 410 and you get near 151, which is over that way, you will endure waiting. You will wait to get on that highway. And you think, when will this ever end? Every day I'm waiting for traffic. Some of you went to the store probably somewhere near Thanksgiving Day, and the stores were crushed waiting to try to get to the cashier. And you forgot that one can of cranberries, and you think, oh no, I've got to go to the store on Thanksgiving Day. And you waited and waited. And you thought, when will this line ever end? Some folks are waiting for much more important things. And it seems like forever. Like, when will this school year be over? When will we get to Christmas break? Or more important things, when will that test come back from the doctor that you are waiting for? Or when will I hear back from the lawyer about that will? Or about my marriage? And you're waiting. Everybody hates to wait. So, given the fact that nobody likes it very much, why would the church have a whole season of waiting? Oh, we're just mean that way. What really happens is, in this time before Christmas, you'll hear in the prayers we say and in the songs we sing, in the scriptures you hear, we wait for at least 2 or 3 different things. And I wanted to hold them up for you and see if you can recognize them until you get to Christmas. There's at least 2 or 3 things the church in its wisdom said we're waiting for. One of them is this, and it's pretty obvious, especially for kids, little kids. What are little kids waiting for in Advent? They're waiting for Christmas morning, pretty much. Already I'm getting those texts, what should I buy so-and-so for Christmas? What do they want? By the way, I didn't even mention how many of you waited on Black Friday for some store to open. Well, good, then you can all have communion. And if you store waiters, back to purgatory. No, but little kids wait for Christmas. And some of them have these Advent calendars, by the way. Old timers will know what an Advent calendar is. It's a piece of paper with a bunch of little squares on it, and you open the square and you see behind that to the paper underneath. And every day you turn the little page on the little door, a little window, and you're waiting for Christmas to come, and you see what's behind the door. You're waiting every day for what's behind the door. It's usually a little present or a gift or something about the Christmas season. So we wait for Christmas, and in religious terms, we wait to celebrate the birth of Jesus. We wait to celebrate, we wait to remember, we wait to recall how God became fully revealed in a person. And the ancient people had waited for hundreds of years, thousands of years, and now we wait every year to celebrate that birth. How God was revealed, God was shown, and God was so tangible in the person of Jesus. We wait to celebrate what we call the Incarnation. That's just historical, though. That's like waiting to celebrate a holiday, waiting to celebrate a date on the calendar. Even as important as the idea is and the remembrance of Christmas is, it's still kind of not tangible to us in one sense. It's kind of the past. We're waiting to celebrate the past. There is a second way, though, that Advent is about waiting. If the first one is Christmas, the second one is something like this. I'm not waiting for God to be born in Jesus. I keep waiting for God to be born in me. Like we're going to sing some of those Christmas songs and we say, "Oh, come to us, abide with us, and be born in us." That's also part of the Christmas season. Not just talking about Jesus, we're waiting for the Spirit, we're waiting for God to have a birth in us. So the manger is in us. And that's a long wait. Because so many times we find ourselves, what we would say, living in a dark space, and we're waiting for the light to come to us, be born in our hearts, take root in our lives, have God, in a sense, grow up in us. And that can be a long wait. Sometimes it seems like we're waiting forever for the divine, the Spirit, God to really fill us up. And there's this big battle all the time between God and us on the inside. So you're waiting for that. For instance, I'll tell you today, this should make the newspapers. On the way to church today, I was on 1604 driving around to get down here. So we're taking the long way around. And I had this egg sandwich in my lap. And it was on a slippery sheet of paper. And as I was trying to eat and drive at the same time, which you should never do, it slipped onto the floor mat down below me. So I picked up one English muffin, then I picked up the egg thing, and then I picked up the other English muffin, and I put them on the seat next to me. And I didn't yell. You see? God can change a person's life. That's kind of what I mean. That's progress in my world. That's taking the step from first grade to second grade. To have not react, not just give in to your passions, not just give in to your desires, not just give in to your ego, but to actually accept what is, live in the present moment, just pick the sandwich up, it's all good. Right? So driving to work is like a spiritual practice in the morning. But still I'm waiting, because most of the time I say something bad and I make matters worse. And that's just a little thing. That's what I mean, though, about waiting for our own maturing, our own ripening, our own coming to be a vessel of God's Spirit. That takes a long time. So we say the prayer at the beginning of our service, "Give us grace to cast away the works of darkness and let light, the armor of light, be what we have on us." Casting away darkness, putting on light, that's a big task for lots of us. So we're waiting for our own Christmas to come to us. And then the last thing is this, and you'll hear this too. The world around us in the big way, not just the little microcosm of our own little lives, but the macro picture, the big picture. The world's a really rough place. All kinds of hard things happening in the world, no doubt about it. Everything from Ferguson and racism and trying to figure out how to get out of that, to all kinds of things overseas. So we're waiting, in a sense, for enough individuals. We're waiting for enough individual people to have Christmas be born in them so that the world becomes a different place. And that's an even longer way. That seems like an almost intangible hope. But to be honest, everyone, I don't think we're going to have a different world by changing the party in power. Do you think a big change is going to happen when Republicans win the presidency? You think that'll bring peace on earth, goodwill towards men? I doubt it. Or if we strengthen our army and eliminate more of the bad people in the world and take care of our enemies, will that somehow bring salvation to the world? No, that's just the ego doing its thing on a big scale. I don't know this for a fact. I'm not a political guy, really. But sometimes I wonder, like President Putin, head of Russia, why would he be fooling around trying to redo the old Russian Empire? Why would he be causing trouble in Ukraine? I swear, because he's bored. He doesn't know what else to do. He needs to prove something big. So, the world will go on being the world that it is as long as people are controlled by their own ego, by their own self-aggrandizement. Republicans, Democrats, it doesn't matter. I think the world will only really be a different place when there are different people in it. The only way to get different people in it is to have Christmas happen to everyone. So that the light of Christ is born in everyone. And when you get enough people, then there becomes a tipping point. A tipping point when things as they are different. And then that's when you really get a new heaven and a new earth. Until that happens, old earth and the old heaven are just going to stay the same. So, we're waiting for that as well. And you'll hear that reflected in our prayers, in our songs. It seems like, oh, we're so tired of waiting, God. We're waiting for Jesus to come on Christmas Day, which is one level of waiting. We're waiting for the Christ to really take hold in us and be born in us. And we're waiting for a transformation to come to the whole human race, which seems like that'll take forever. Waiting and waiting. Nobody wants to wait anymore. And yet Jesus says, look, I'm telling you all, if there's one thing I want you to remember, what I say to you, I say to everyone, stay awake while you're waiting. Don't fall asleep. Don't forget. Don't give hope. Just stay awake and wait. And all three of those promises will come to pass. Christ will be born on Christmas. Christ will be born in us. And then Christ will be born in the whole world. But it's a long wait. So Jesus, hear the words of Jesus again. Look, I know it's hard, but what I say to you, I say to everyone. While you're waiting, stay awake. Don't fall asleep. Don't give up. I know it's a hard wait. Nobody likes to wait. But don't fall asleep. So keep alert to the things you're waiting for in these 4 weeks before Christmas. You're waiting for Christmas to come, as Jesus was the incarnation of God. And we're waiting for God to be incarnate in us more fully, more completely, more often, more consistently. And we're waiting for God to be born in this world so that the world really becomes a new place, not just the manifestation of one ego after another on a big scale or a little scale. It's a long wait. And Jesus said, look, I'm the first one. I'm like, if you don't mind the analogy, there was a time when there were no flowers on the earth. Everything, plants were just green. Flowers are farther up the evolutionary scale. There had to be a first one. There had to be one. And in this sense, in the Christian tradition, we say Jesus was the one. first. My followers, they will come after me. They will become like me. There will be other flowers to be blooming after me. And look at the world today. Flowers everywhere. Flowers win. Flowers won out. So while we're waiting for all this to happen, Jesus says, I know it's a long wait, but don't fall asleep. Don't give up hope. Flowers will come. Christ will be born on Christmas. Christ will be born in you. Christ will be born in the world. So while you're waiting, just stay awake. Don't fall asleep. Just wait. I offer this to you in God's name. God the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.